In October 2018, someone walked into a KC Mart gas station in Simpsonville, South Carolina, a tiny suburb with a population of about 22,000 people, and bought a Mega Millions Quick Pick ticket. The numbers that came up were 5, 28, 62, 65, 70, and Mega Ball 5. That ticket was worth $1.5 billion, the largest single winner payout in American lottery history at the time. And then nothing happened. No press conference, no celebration, no name, no face. For 132 days, the entire country waited. Journalists camped outside the gas station. The mayor of Simpsonville went on national television guessing the winner probably worked at a nearby BMW plant. Conspiracy theories spread online that the winner had died or lost the ticket or didn't even know they'd won. But here's what was actually happening during those 132 silent days. That winner was executing a step-by-step disappearing act so precise, so calculated, that to this day, years later, nobody on Earth knows who they are. Not the media, not their neighbors, not even most of their own family. They collected $877 million in cash and vanished. Now compare that to Abraham Shakespeare. He won $30 million playing the Florida lottery in 2006. His name went public immediately. Within months, strangers were showing up at his door. A woman named Dee Moore approached him pretending to write a book about his life. She wormed her way into managing what was left of his money, drained over $1 million buying herself a Hummer, a Corvette, and a vacation, and then she shot him twice in the chest and buried his body under a concrete slab in a backyard. By the time police found him, every single dollar of his $30 million was gone. Same event, win the lottery, two completely different outcomes. One person is living in total anonymity with generational wealth, the other is in a shallow grave. The difference between them, 13 steps, and the order matters. This is the exact playbook that smart lottery winners use to disappear after hitting the jackpot. And whether you ever play the lottery or not, what you're about to learn will change how you think about money, privacy, and survival. Let's get into it. Number 1, do not sign the ticket. This is the step that almost everyone gets wrong, and it's the one that can never be undone. The moment you scribble your name on the back of a winning lottery ticket, you have legally declared yourself the owner. That ticket is now locked to your identity. And in most states, the name on the back of that ticket is the name that goes into the public record when you claim the prize. An unsigned lottery ticket is what's called a bearer instrument. That's a legal term meaning whoever physically holds it owns it. And that small legal detail is the entire foundation of the Disappearing Act. Because if the ticket has no name on it, it can be assigned to a legal entity like a trust or an LLC. And when that trust walks into lottery headquarters to claim the prize, the public record shows the name of the trust, not your name, not your face, not your city. A woman in New Hampshire learned this the hard way in 2018 after winning a $559 million Powerball jackpot. In the excitement, she immediately signed the back of her ticket with her real name. She didn't know that New Hampshire law required public disclosure of the winner's identity. She had to hire attorneys and take the state lottery commission to court just to fight for the right to remain unnamed. The judge eventually ruled in her favor, but it cost her time, money, and stress that she never would have needed if she just left the ticket blank. Smart winners treat an unsigned ticket like a loaded weapon. They photograph it, video themselves holding it for proof of possession, then lock it in a fireproof safe. They do not write on it, not yet. Number 2, go completely silent. Before you tell your spouse, before you tell your mother, before you tell your best friend of 20 years, you tell nobody. The smart lottery winners treat the first 24 to 48 hours after discovering a winning ticket the way a spy treats a classified operation. Total information blackout. This sounds extreme, and it is, but here's why it works. Every person you tell becomes a leak, and every leak becomes a chain reaction. You tell your brother tells his wife tells her coworker, and by Thursday, your name is trending on social media. Remember, the $1.5 billion South Carolina winner waited 132 days before even contacting the lottery commission. During that time, experts believe the winner told almost no one. That discipline is what bought them the time they needed to build their entire disappearing infrastructure. Attorney Andrew Stoltman, who has represented 12 lottery winners, puts it bluntly. He says the people who win the lottery think the journey is over. What they don't realize is that the journey has really just begun. Number 3, hire a lottery lawyer before you do anything else. Not a regular attorney, not your cousin who passed the bar, a specialist. A lottery lawyer is someone who has specifically handled large jackpot claims and understands the intersection of tax law, trust law, estate planning, and state disclosure requirements. One of the most respected names in this space is Kurt Panousis, a Florida-based attorney who has advised dozens of major jackpot winners. He's the lawyer who helped the 2018 South Carolina winner set up the legal structure that kept their identity hidden. He was also instrumental in guiding the anonymous New Hampshire Powerball winner through her court battle. Another attorney, Mark K. Harder, physically walked into a lottery office in 2024 and claimed an $842 million jackpot on behalf of a Michigan couple. The couple never appeared publicly. Harder told reporters the family wanted to be perceived the way they had always been perceived. They even hired a public relations team to scrub their social media profiles so nothing could accidentally give them away. These lawyers don't come cheap, but when you're sitting on hundreds of millions of dollars, the cost of a specialist is a rounding error compared to the cost of getting it wrong. Number 4, set up a blind trust or LLC. This is the core legal mechanism that makes the entire disappearing act possible. A blind trust is a special type of irrevocable living trust where the person who created it, the grantor, is also the beneficiary, but neither identity is publicly disclosed. The trustee, usually a law firm or a trust management company, has full authority to manage the assets. The winning ticket gets deposited into the trust as what's essentially an anonymous donation. When the trust claims the lottery prize, the public record shows the trust's name. Something generic like Granite State Trust or Lucky 7 Holdings, your personal name stays completely out of it. In 2010, a Powerball jackpot worth $261 or $1 million went unclaimed for a full month until an attorney quietly walked into lottery headquarters and submitted the paperwork on behalf of his anonymous client. Nobody ever found out who won. Now, this only works in certain states. As of right now, states like Delaware, South Carolina, Texas, Kansas, Maryland, Ohio, Georgia, and North Dakota allow full anonymity. Others like Colorado, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Vermont allow payouts to trusts. But states like California, New York, and Pennsylvania require full public disclosure of the winner's name, city, and prize amount. If you live in a mandatory disclosure state, a trust can still help. Your lawyer can negotiate how and when information is released, and the trust creates a buffer between you and the public, even if your name eventually surfaces. Number 5, nuke your digital footprint. Before any paperwork hits the Lottery Commission, before your name has any chance of leaking, you need to disappear from the internet. That means deleting every social media account you own: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, all of it. Not deactivating, deleting. But social media is just the surface. Your personal information is scattered across dozens of data broker websites, people-search engines, and public record aggregators. Sites that will show anyone your home address, phone number, relatives' names, and estimated net worth for the cost of a monthly subscription. Smart winners hire digital privacy firms to send removal requests to every major data broker, scrubbing their name from as many databases as possible. The Michigan couple that won $842 million in 2024 didn't just delete their own accounts. Their PR team audited the social media profiles of their extended family members to make sure nobody could accidentally connect the dots. Number 6, change your phone number and email address. This one sounds simple, but the timing is critical. You need a new, unlisted phone number and a generic email address set up before your name has any possibility of becoming public. The old number becomes a magnet for scam calls, media requests, long-lost relatives, and outright threats. Kurt Panouses, the lottery attorney, specifically advises his clients to change their cell phone number and landline before claiming. He recommends getting an unlisted number through a trusted carrier and using a burner email address for all lottery-related communications. Think about it this way. Within weeks of a jackpot winner's name becoming public, they can receive thousands of letters, calls, and messages from complete strangers asking for money, pitching investments, or flat out demanding a share. The winners who changed their numbers before claiming never had to deal with that tsunami. Number 7, understand your state's disclosure timeline and use every second of it. Most states give you between 90 and 180 days to claim a lottery prize. Smart winners use every available day to prepare. The South Carolina winner waited until day 132 of their 180-day window. That's 4.5 months of preparation before making a single move. Florida is an interesting case study. Florida Statute 24.1051 gives winners of prizes over $250 a 90-day exemption from public records. But there's a catch. That 90-day clock starts the moment you walk into lottery headquarters and file your claim. After it expires, your name becomes fully accessible through public records requests. The workaround is to claim through a trust, so when that 90-day window closes, the only name in the system is the trust's name, not yours. The bottom line is this: never rush to claim a prize. Every day you wait is a day you can spend fortifying your anonymity. Number 8, make the lump sum versus annuity decision strategically. This isn't just a financial decision, it's a privacy decision. The lump sum gives you all the money up front, minus taxes. The annuity spreads payments over 20 to 30 years. Financial planners often debate which is smarter from a tax perspective, but from a disappearing perspective, the lump sum has a distinct advantage. With a lump sum, you take the money, move it into your trust's investment accounts, and sever all ongoing ties with the lottery commission. No annual check, no recurring paperwork, no annual reminder to the state that you exist. The $1.5 billion South Carolina winner chose the lump sum, taking home a one-time payment of $877 million after the cash option discount, but before taxes. One transaction, one wire transfer, done, vanished. Annuity payments, on the other hand, create a decades-long paper trail between you and the lottery system. Every year, there's a payment event, a tax filing connected to the lottery, and another opportunity for your identity to surface. If you're prioritizing disappearance, many lottery attorneys recommend taking the lump sum and investing it through your trust's wealth management team. Number 9, obey the no jackpot behavior rule for 6 months. Some advisors call this the most psychologically difficult step of all. For a minimum of 6 months after winning, you change absolutely nothing about your visible life. Same job, same car, same apartment, same wardrobe, same restaurants, same routine. The logic is ruthless but effective. If nobody knows you've won and you don't act like you've won, then nobody suspects you've won. The moment you show up to work in a brand new Mercedes or quit your job with no explanation, people start asking questions, and questions lead to rumors, and rumors lead to exposure. Financial advisors who specialize in sudden wealth recommend putting the money in short-term treasury bonds during this cooling period. You're earning interest on hundreds of millions of dollars while the emotional dust settles and your team builds a long-term financial plan. No house purchases, no car upgrades, no designer clothing, no vacations that don't match your pre-win lifestyle. Attorney Stoltman has seen what happens to winners who skip this step. He's represented 12 lottery winners, and many of them lost everything through bad investments, reckless spending, and greedy relatives. The ones who survived were the ones who kept quiet and kept still. Number 10, hire a media advisor and prepare a scripted statement. Even if you're claiming through a trust, even if your state allows full anonymity, you need a plan for the possibility that your identity leaks. A media advisor helps you craft a short, pre-approved statement that says almost nothing while sounding polite and grateful. Edwin Castro, who won $2.04 billion, the largest lottery jackpot in American history in California, a state that requires full disclosure, released a brief written statement after claiming his prize and declined to speak to reporters entirely. That's it. One paragraph, no interviews, no follow-ups. California law forced his name into the public record, but his media strategy ensured he gave the press nothing to work with. Your media advisor will also coach you on what not to say if a reporter catches you off guard. No details about your plans, no specifics about your financial team, no comments about how much you're keeping or giving away. The less you say, the faster the news cycle moves on. Number 11, temporarily relocate. Kurt Panousis specifically makes sure his clients have a plan to leave their home for at least a week or two after claiming. If your identity has any chance of going public, you do not want to be sitting in your living room when the first news van pulls up. Some advisors recommend having a trusted friend rent a modest place in a remote location under the friend's name. Not a luxury resort, not a beachfront villa, a quiet, anonymous rental where you can wait out the initial media frenzy. After Timothy Schultz won $29 million in Iowa in 1999, he held a press conference on the advice of lottery officials. He was 21 years old. Strangers immediately began approaching him for autographs, asking to rub him for good luck, and treating him like a public attraction. He later said he wasn't just Tim anymore. He was Tim the lottery winner. That label followed him for decades. The winners who relocate during the initial disclosure window avoid that branding entirely. By the time they return, the public has already moved on to the next story. If you've made it this far, you're clearly not a casual viewer. You're the kind of person who thinks strategically about money and privacy. Hit subscribe. I cover stories like this every single week, and the next one might be even more important than this one. Now, let's talk about the two final steps that separate the people who stay hidden for a few months from the ones who stay hidden forever. Number 12, build a generational wealth structure. Disappearing from public life is only half the equation. The other half is making sure the money survives longer than you do. This is where estate planning attorneys earn their fee. A properly structured trust doesn't just protect your identity, it protects the money from lawsuits, from divorce settlements, from bad investment decisions, and from the statistical curse that follows lottery winners. The CFP Board of Standards has reported that roughly 1/3 of lottery winners eventually declare bankruptcy. Some estimates from broader research suggest the number could be even higher for winners who don't use professional financial management. Winners under 40 are especially vulnerable. Jack Whitaker won $315 million playing Powerball in 2002. Within 5 years, he'd filed for bankruptcy after losing most of his fortune to lawsuits and theft. Evelyn Adams won $5.4 million in the New Jersey lottery, twice in 1985 and 1986. By the year 2000, she was bankrupt and living in a trailer. William Bud Post won $16.2 million in the Pennsylvania lottery in 1988 and was bankrupt within a year due to catastrophic investments. Smart winners avoid this fate by building wealth structures with guardrails, irrevocable trusts that prevent impulsive withdrawals, investment portfolios managed by fiduciary advisors who are legally required to act in the winner's best interest, not their own. Charitable foundations that create tax benefits while keeping the winner's philanthropic activity anonymous. Separate trusts for children and grandchildren with staggered distribution schedules so no 18-year-old inherits $50 million overnight. The goal isn't just to protect the money, it's to protect the person who won it. Number 13, maintain the disappearance for life. This is the step that separates a temporary privacy strategy from a permanent vanishing act, and it requires discipline that most people don't have. It means never telling anyone new, ever. Not at a dinner party, not after 3 drinks, not to impress a date. Every new person who learns the truth is a potential leak, and one leak is all it takes to unravel years of careful planning. It means continuing to live below your radar line. You can absolutely upgrade your life, but you do it gradually and quietly. Buy a house through your LLC. Drive a nice car but not a Lamborghini. Travel privately but don't post about it. Donate generously but through your foundation, not with a personal check that has your name on it. It means keeping your professional team intact for decades. Your attorney, your CPA, your wealth manager, your trust administrator, these are the people who stand between you and exposure. The Michigan couple who won $842 million specifically chose an investment firm with a track record of serving ultra-high net worth families because they knew the information would never be disclosed. And it means accepting that some relationships will change because of what you can't say. You might watch a family member struggle financially and feel the pull to reveal yourself and write a check. Smart winners find workarounds, anonymous gifts through their attorney, loans from a family trust that never need to be repaid, college funds that appear to come from a scholarship. The South Carolina winner who took home $877 million is still anonymous today, years later. Nobody knows their name, nobody knows where they live, nobody knows what they drive or where their kids go to school. In a world where privacy is almost extinct, this person achieved something that most billionaires can't even pull off. They disappeared completely. Now compare that one more time to Abraham Shakespeare. His name was published in every local newspaper the week he won. Within 3 years, he was dead, buried under concrete with every penny gone. Or Gregory Birch, a 20-year-old in Georgia who won $434,000 and used some of it to buy Christmas presents for underprivileged kids in his neighborhood. 7 people decided he was flexing and showing off. They broke into his home, demanded money, and shot him dead in front of his girlfriend and child. They got away with $200. These aren't cautionary tales, they're crime scenes, and they exist because someone's name ended up on a public record. The 13 steps aren't just a strategy, they're a survival protocol, and they work for anyone who suddenly comes into money, not just lottery winners. Inheritance, business sale, legal settlement. The principles are identical. Go silent, get legal protection, control the narrative, disappear from the databases, and above all, resist the urge to let the world know you've won. Because the smartest lottery winners in history all figured out the same truth. The real jackpot isn't the money, it's the ability to enjoy it in peace.